Okay, so I called this video Operation Tear Down False Idols. And what I'm going to be doing is discussing the law with you guys and what it means in reality. Because I know a lot of you are under the false delusion that the law has been done away with. And what you don't realize is that most of the evil that we see, the uptick in evil that we see, are actually means of being against the law. And I wanted to specifically target this video towards black and brown people, to the children of Israel, because it's y'all who are targeted to not follow the law. So I'm going to be getting into the law and what it means in reality. I'm going to be talking to you about what you experience in reality and then going right back to the law that they claim was done away with, especially within the Christian community. It's funny though. The Christian community seems to have a big aversion towards LGBTQ, which was in the law of Moses. But yet still, every other law of Moses is like, oh no, it's done away with. How do you, as a human being, pick and choose what law is you're supposed to follow? It doesn't work that way, my loves. Because that same LGBTQ that you claim is so blasphemous and this and that is in the law of Moses. So do you choose? So you're saying that God doesn't choose what laws you follow. You do. Because you know what's righteous, right? But either way, I'm going to tie reality into what it means in the law and why. Because nobody likes to answer that question, why? And why is the most important question. Because if you're doing this and that, who, what, where, when, how, and you don't know why, then it's just like zombie apocalypse. Everybody doing the same thing, reanimated with no reasoning or purpose. That's ridiculous. Because everything that we do has a purpose. And if the 10 Commandments is all you're supposed to follow, then why do you have an aversion against LGBTQ? It's not making any sense. And you got to start being logical. Because these elites, the people that are running you, these T.D. Jakes and Joel Osteen, need a narrative. They need a tangible villain for you to continue to fight their aimless fight against the invisible enemy when you don't know the invisible enemy is running you and keeping you out of accordance with the law, Christian. And I don't come here to attack you. I come here to give you truth. And if you don't acknowledge truth, then off with the heads. Since you claim to love Jesus so much, die for him. And that's why they deceive you, a lot of you souls, with the idea that Jesus is the Father and the Son, because by you saying that, by you not being able to distinguish that, then you can create your own law. So what you think is the law. When the law was given to Yahweh, who you call Jesus Christ, and the people by the law of Moses. Moses came to give the law. Jesus came to give grace and truth. The law will be followed. And that's the gavel grow. Okay, so I wanted to start discussing what it means in reality, okay? Again, follow me on YouTube because my videos might go a little longer because I got a lot to say and I ain't got a lot of time. And we need to get this done, my friends. Woo woo! We got to get for real, all right? So first thing I wanted to talk about is the dietary laws. You can call me the interpretator for the laws, okay? And I'm going to be interpreting hidden text too, so look out for that. Now, I want to go into something that's current. An uptick in the evil acts of this world and what the leaders are doing. Again, keeping you out of accordance with the law. So one of this is not to eat vermin on the earth. Not to eat of things that creep upon the earth. Not to eat a worm found in fruit. All right. So if you haven't been paying attention to the news, you'll notice that there's been a lot of celebrities talking about the eating of bugs. The eating of crickets, the eating of all of these things because protein and all of this and the meat is going away and all of this. But little do you know that the meat will be going away because God is going to will it that way. And they're going to have you against the law again with the eating of bugs, meaning famine is coming. You're going to have roaches. How's your cockroach sandwich? I'm telling you, the food that you hold onto so much is going to be your demise. So that is why they are promoting the eating of bugs. It's not because this and that. It's because it is against the law. Again, their main goal is to keep the children of Israel against the law. Everything they have you doing is against the Most High, so you never ascend out of here. You stay here with their deceptions, with their lies, with their white vans, with the candy and the ice cream. Like, come on, kids, eat it up. Little do you know, they bringing you to get chopped up, kidnapped, done, recycled into the system. So again, what you got to eat is going to be what eats you in the end. All right. So we talked about the bugs. We talked about the flesh with milk, not to boil meat with milk too. Again, so now another one is not to eat things that swarm in the water. Okay, so now we're going to talk about that seafood Sunday, bro. You know, all them ASMR videos where they eating the crab legs and they eating this. It's not by coincidence, my friends. You see Cardi B with her video about eating octopus. It is not by coincidence. All of these things are against the law, which is why they promote it. So they promote these seafood Sundays, the shrimp, this and this and that and this, because it keeps you out of accordance with the law. It has nothing to do with, oh, this is amazing tasting. You think that. That's how I want you to think about Hansel and Gretel. How did Hansel and Gretel even get enamored? They saw the food and the candy and all of this to eat, and they said, wow, let's go in there. And what happened? She led them to get fed up, fattened, so that she can slaughter them. That is what is happening in your real life. You're in a Hansel and Gretel. This whole world is a Hansel and Gretel, enamoring you with this food and that food so you can be enticed, so that they can get you fattened up, lazied up, gluttonied up to the slaughter. Okay? Worms found in the fruit. So again, this is why these Jews pay so much money in their little kosher grocery stores, because they're cleaned properly. The fruits that you're eating are not cleaned properly. There might be microscopic bugs on it that you may have been eating and you don't even know. That's why you must wash your fruit in baking soda, vinegar, and water, and it cleans it up. And you'll see it yourself. When you put the fruit in there, it cleans it up. So you want to do that so that you're not out of accordance with the dietary laws, my friend. So I think that's about it. Oh, and so now I'm going to talk to you about the slaughtering of the animals. Well, I would hope you have seen these videos, because again, I like to tie it into reality and how it ties into spiritual. These videos, these PETA videos of these animals, and the way they're killing these animals are out of control. I mean, hitting them, kicking them in the head. Sometimes you see the animals crying. It's so bad. And it's like, and this is the food that they put, the meat that they put in most of your grocery stores. They're killed in the most horrendous ways. And it ain't just because they're sadists. It is because it is against the law. So one of the laws is to slay cattle, deer, and fowl, according to the laws of Shishita, if their flesh is to be eaten, not to eat unclean fowl. This is why they have these animals in disgusting conditions. It's not just because they can't do it. They do it because it keeps you out of accordance with the law. You got all these people eating this meat and that meat that you have to have, that because you have to have, you're going to get it taken away from you in that famine. That's what I was trying to explain to you with these dietary laws. It always ties into reality. I'm giving you the whys. Everybody wants to tell you who, what, where, when, how. I want to give you the why. This is why they have you doing it, because it goes against all of the dietary laws that will keep you out of accordance with the Most High to get you ascended up out of this jail cell. Another law to speak about, not to eat blood, Leviticus 7:26. This is why they promote medium rare meat as a classy thing. It's an upper class thing. No, it ain't. It's against the Most High. Hit that gavel. You ain't supposed to be eating blood under any circumstance. If we're going to talk about the dark web of society, this is why these people are drinking adrenochrome. It's not just because it gives it a high. It's not because it's just an anti-ager, because either way, no matter how much baby's blood you drink, you have the inevitable death. You are not immortal. You are only, if you have to use a means to remain immortal, you're not immortal. Okay, so I think that'll be it for the dietary laws. I hope I'm making myself clear. And please, if you want to correct me in the comments, I implore you to do that. I am not prideful in any of my knowledge. I'm just trying to relate to you what has been put on to me from the Most High and the Holy Spirit. Okay? So now I want to talk to you guys about times and seasons. This is another section in the 613 laws. Again, so we're going to go into times and seasons. I'm doing this as I'm doing it with y'all, okay? So mind with me, babies. All right, so we need to sanctify the Shabbat. We need to not do work on the Shabbat. And when it says not to do work, it means not to clean either. So not to walk, not to take a shower. You ain't doing none of that. Wash your derriere for the sun is gone. Wash your derriere for the sun go down. This is how you do the Shabbat. You need to prep before the Shabbat. All right? Hit that gavel. Here we go. And we are not to travel on Shabbat outside of the limit of one's place of residence. That's a law according to Exodus 16:29. So nobody should be leaving their house. Nobody should be going anywhere because it says you are not to travel on Shabbat outside of the limits of one's place of residence. Okay? So that's a law. And this is why the times and the seasons are extremely important. This section is extremely important. Because if we're not in accordance to what Shabbat is, Israel is just going to be all over the place. We got to unite as one, under one God. Hear me? Hit that gavel. All right. So we need to be following the Shabbat according to the moon and the sun. Again, I'm going to put it in here again. The page you need to follow on Facebook to know exactly how to follow. If you can't even track the sun and the moon yourself, we got family members. We got our neighbors to help us with it, okay? We need to move. Come on, man. Enough is enough. These Jews been thriving and surviving all this time, and we over here just taking scraps from dogs. Like, enough of that. So we moving on, all right? So we talked about the Shabbat. What law we going to talk about? Oh, not to work on the Shabbat. Stop making up your own Shabbat. Shabbat is not every Saturday, man. It's not every Saturday. You need to track the sun and the moon and stop caring about all these little treats they giving you and all of this and that and that and this and worried about what you really need to do, okay? Because the Father does not change. Simple as that. And he means business. He ain't playing with us, okay? So, because I know I'm supposed to be going up, but I ain't go up because I messed up on Passover. I know. So, listen, my Father does not play, and we got to follow them laws, all right? So that's why I'm doing this video, because I need us to get right. We need to get right. Okay, I'm not going to go over the Passover laws because Passover is past. Maybe next year. Hopefully, I'm not going to be here next year, but we're going to see because I got to get out of here. Who needs to hear will hear. I need to be released from captivity. So either way, I'm not going to get into the Passover, but let's go on. To rest on Shabbat, not to do work on the Shabbat, nothing. You ain't working. Your food needs to be prepped before the Shabbat, before sundown. So, for example, tomorrow, Friday, is Shabbat. You need to do whatever you need to do before sundown, meaning prepping food for the food you're going to eat in Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon before sundown and getting ready and getting right together. All right, my babies, we got this. We're going to do this. Come on, we got this. Please watch the full video and please share it. I don't ask y'all to share nothing, but we got to get this. I got to go home now. I got to go home, okay? Let me see what else we doing. All right, so times and seasons is done, all right? We're going to work together. We're going to do this. Okay, another step. All of us need to be praying the Shema prayer morning and night. This is in Deuteronomy 6:7. You need to read the Shema in the morning and at night. And back to reality. You know how they say grace before you eat the food? In fact, according to the law, you are to recite grace after meals. Deuteronomy 8:10. Why would they have you praying before the meal when the Most High says to pray after? Because everything is meant to keep you out of accordance in the law in this upside down world where Satan is God. Well, I don't even like saying that, but you know, that's how he's regarded by these devils and demons and fallen angels. But I know you, Satan, and I rebuke you in the name of Yahshua. Okay, so I think that's about it. Now we're going to go to love and brotherhood and sisterhood. So, as I said before, I always connect reality into spiritual because, again, nothing happens by coincidence. Everything has a reason. Why? I know they love to tell you why. It doesn't matter, but it's everything, actually. So, one of the things I want to talk to you about is one of the laws, okay? And one of the laws is not to stand by idly when a human life is in danger. What do we see now in reality? Social media. Somebody getting washed up. Something bad is happening. What do? We take our phones out. So we go viral in a 2D reality for some 2D popularity when you're a 3D living person trying to ascend into 5D. Get out of here. Hit that gap. Come on, son. So it says not to stand idly by when a human life is in danger. Again, a practice within society to keep you against the law of the Most High. Another law. Leviticus 19:18, to love all human beings who are of the covenant. It says of the covenant. Hit that gavel. I don't know where y'all got all this Jesus is love is peace. Because let me tell you something. If you ain't in accordance to the Most High, you getting burned up in that second coming. Ain't no love there, sweetheart. You about to die. Okay? So that's another thing that's telling you not to wrong anyone in speech. We know that. Not to carry tales. Not to cherish hatred in one's heart. See, that's something I had to learn myself. Because, boy, do I hate these people. I try not to. And I'm not cherishing it. I'm acknowledging it. So I could get over it. You know, I'm trying to get over it. Okay? Not to take revenge. That's just why I tell you, do not act in violence. When you act in violence, you are going against the Most High's law. To rebuke the sinner. Leviticus 19:17. I am about tired of y'all talking about, oh, you don't judge. I rebuke you. It's as simple as that. You come to me with that sin, I rebuke you. It's as simple as that. And that comes from me judging righteously according to the law. All right? So to relieve a neighbor of his burden and to help him to unload his beast, relieve a neighbor of his burden, let's be a hand to one another. Let's help each other. Let's move in a community. For real, for real. Let's love each other, my brothers and sisters. So now we're going to get into the topic forbidden sexual relations. Okay? And again, I like to tie reality into spiritual. Reality. There are states within America right now that legally you can have sex with an animal. In the law, it says not to have intercourse with a beast. In a society that's allegedly of God, under one God, why are they having sex with animals in states? Why is it allowed? You are not to have intercourse with a beast. And that's just disgusting. What's wrong with you? That's nasty. Why are you having sex with a dog? An animal? A cat? Oh, y'all are gross if you doing that. Something wrong with you. But either way, I digress. Let's move on. All right. It says not to commit incest with one mother, not to commit sodomy. All right. This is one I want to talk about. Not to commit sodomy with a male. Leviticus 18:22. My friends, it's right there. It's against the law. And I'm not here to belittle anybody, but it is against the law not to commit sodomy with a male. Okay? All right. Another thing that they promote here is cheating with other women. Wife swapping is what they call it. They even had a TV show called Wife Swap. Let's go into the story. Not to have intercourse with another man's wife. Leviticus 18:20. What they popularize in reality goes against the law of the Most High. Hit that gavel. Not to have intercourse with a woman on her menstrual period. See, now they promote that as, oh, you're being free and open-minded. You're doing the right thing. This is feminism. It's against the law, sir. Why you can't prevent yourself from having sex with blood all over you? Come on, son. Move on. Next. So now it says, not to commit incest with family members. I think that goes without saying. Another popularized thing. Transgender. Here we go. We're going to talk about it. It said the law says not to castrate the male of any species, neither a man, nor a domestic, or a wild beast, nor a fowl. Leviticus 22:24. Hit that gavel. We're going to get into it. So first and foremost, I want to talk about spaying your animals. That is castration of the animal. Something that they have told you is something that you should do is against the law of the Most High. Wake up. Castrate the male of any species. When you see these people talking about transgender rights and it's of the people and your kids can go get castrated, that is against the law. Hit that gavel. I'm not here to belittle. I'm here to tell you and give you the truth of the Most High's law. Okay? Where they said it was done away with, it was never done away with. All right? So I think we are done with forbidden sexual relations, my friends. We're going to move on now. This is a long video. You ask me why I'm doing this? Because I love me some Yahshua HaMashiach more than myself, more than anything of this world. I love him and I need to go be with him. And that's why. So let's move on. Now we're going to talk about vows, oath, and swearing. That a man should fulfill whatever he has uttered. Deuteronomy 23:24. This is why your words matter. What speaks out of your mouth matters. Because you're expected to back it up. You think you're going to be in heaven? Giving half of you, giving half lies. It don't work that way. And I need to do that myself. I need to be careful with what I say out of my mouth because I am held to it. Word is bond. Just like the Bible, word is bond. All right. Not to swear needlessly. Exodus 27. You ever meet those people? This is why the cursing thing is becoming so relaxed now. It's like, yeah, B's, F's, all these stuff. It's a dirty, filthy mouth, like pigs. They want you to live like pigs. Remember. Next law, not to violate an oath or swear falsely. Leviticus 19:12. This is why in courtrooms they have the Bible. You put your hand over it, you give your swear, and you might be guilty as all day. But you're swearing that you're telling the truth, but you're not. You're against the Most High's law. Okay, when you do that, all right? Not to break a vow, which was said before. To swear by his name truly, in truth, not in falsehood, my friends. Not to delay in fulfilling vows or bringing vowed or free will offerings. So don't delay. Do what you said you was going to do, my friends. Do it. All right? And next. So now we're going to go into the next one. So some sections of the law I'm not going to be discussing with y'all. I implore you to do that so you're in accordance, which is the sabbatical and jubilee years and the court and judicial procedure. I'd rather just do one of the more human effort kind of ones, but I do implore you to read those laws so you're in accordance. All right? And if you need me to send you the laws, you can message me and I can send you the laws. I have no problems doing that. So injuries and damages. All right. Not to leave something that might cause hurt. How many times do we go over something that we know could hurt somebody else, but we like, that ain't our problem. You ain't supposed to do that according to the Most High. You see how the Most High's laws is righteous and just keeping us in accordance and acting like human beings and not animals. You know, that's a good law, you know. So to save the pursued, even at the cost of the life of the pursuer. Okay. In layman terms, sometimes some people gotta die. You know, like those people who do really bad things and they're trying to kill someone and you're like, no, sir, bah! You die. And it says it's okay. Deuteronomy 25:12. Okay? Not to spare a producer, but he is to be slain before he reaches the pursued and slays the latter or uncovers his nakedness. Deuteronomy 25:12. So here's the thing, right? We are operating in this man-made law, so it says it's against the law to murder. So I don't even want to tell you guys to do that. So I'm going to move on from that. But it is in the law of the Most High, a righteous killing, right? Don't we always do something like that in this world? Realistically, they try to make death seem like it's like the worst thing. Sometimes some people gotta die. And it's as simple as that. Either way, we're going to move on to criminal laws. Okay? All right. So now we have criminal laws. Not to slay an innocent person. Not to kidnap any person of Israel. I think that goes without reasoning. I don't think I need to explain myself. Not to rob by violence. You ain't supposed to be robbing by violence. You ain't supposed to be beating nobody up to rob them. Come on. What are y'all doing, black people, brown people? Get it together. Another law is not to defraud. Well, let's talk about that in reality. Why is scamming so popular in the black community? And trust, it didn't just come up out of nowhere. People were infiltrated into us to give us that scamming, which is why it keeps you out of accordance with the Most High. Not to covet what belongs to another. What does it mean to covet? To desire, to want. So I got this piece of paper right here. You said you want this piece of paper. You ain't supposed to do that, sir. That's against the law of the Most High. Hit that gavel. All right? Not to crave something that belongs to another. So it's basically the same thing, saying the same thing in Deuteronomy 5:18. Not to indulge in evil thoughts and transgression of the sin is transgression of the law. Okay, so we don't indulge in that evil stuff. We don't indulge in it. We move away from it. We are built this and all. All right, so now we're going to talk about idolatry, idolaters, and idolatrous practices. And I think this one is very important. So listen up. I know I've been talking for a while, but I think I'm talking about something that matters. So I hope you listening, but maybe not. I don't know. So it says not to make a graven image, neither to make it oneself, nor to have it made by others. What is a graven image, my friends? We're going to go into definition, semantics. So what does that mean? A graven image means carved or sculpted to represent a god. You are not to have nothing like that. You're not to make it. You're not to indulge in it. Them Catholic churches with all them statues, you ain't supposed to be doing that, my friends, because it's a representation of a God that you never seen. Shut up and move on. Let's go on. Not to make any figures for ornaments, even if they are not worship. What does that mean? What does it mean to ornament? Even if it's just for decorative purposes, you're not supposed to have it, okay? It's not to make any figures for ornament. You're just not. Not to make idols even for others. So even if you ain't doing it, don't mean you could do it for other people. You are supposed to X that out completely. Let's see. Not to make use of an idol or its accessory objects, offerings, or libations. Deuteronomy 70:26. Have nothing to do with it. Rebuke it. As simple as that. Not to drink wine of idolaters. Well, let's get into that now, sir, shall we? You ever hear you can't eat from any and everybody? You can't drink from any and everybody. If somebody's participating in that idolatry, you don't know what they're doing with their food. You don't know what they're doing with their drinks. So you stay away from it. That it literally means away, exit out. He keeps us sifted as a people for a reason. Because we don't do pigs, do man lay with swine? No. Do men eat with swine? No. We ain't even supposed to eat swine. So move up out of it. So not to bow down to an idol, even if that is not in its mode of worship. You know what that means. I ain't got to go over that. So I think I made it clear with the idolatry stuff, right? So now we're going to go here. This one is what I was talking about in my previous video. Not to pass a child through the fire to Moloch. Leviticus 18:21. As I said before, I have been in the know of a child, a real life child who was burned through the fire with the face injury of frazzle drip. I'll put that picture in here if I need to. And we're not supposed to do that. And a whole bunch of religious people, Christians, are doing that. Leaders. Let's move on. Not to suffer anyone practicing witchcraft to live. You practicing witchcraft, I want nothing to do with you. Simple as that. Rebuke. Not to practice observing times or seasons as favorable or unfavorable using astrology. Listen, I get it. They've made you believe that you're your own gods and your personality and all of that with astrology, but that's a negative. That's a no, that you're not supposed to do that. It's made it centered on you. So you like, oh, my personality and all of this and that. You ain't even supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be observing times and seasons. That's why I always tie it into reality. They'll be like, oh, in this month, it'll be favorable for you. It'll be a high season for money and all that. You ain't supposed to be doing that according to the Most High. Hit that gavel. Not to practice nekesh. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but you get what I'm saying. Doing things based on signs and portents. Using charms and incantations. So when, for example, from the children of Israel, you over there storing food because you see the signs of the times. You see the earthquakes. You see the tornadoes. You see this and that. You ain't supposed to do that. That's against the law. Using charms and incantations. You know what that means. Don't do it. Not to consult ghosts. People that play with them Ouija boards, what are you doing? You ain't supposed to be doing that, sir. You gonna be messed up. Not to consult wizards. This ain't Harry Potter. I don't want nothing to do with you. Bye-bye. Not to practice kiss off. Magic using herbs, stones, and objects. You know them people with the crystals. It's so stupid. Imagine it's a piece of rock. Rock, give me money. Like, y'all look so dumb. But either way, I digress. Hit that gavel. All right. Not to practice the art of a chova chaba, casting spells over snakes and scorpions. You know them people that be causing them snakes to dance? Like, it always ties into reality. You ain't supposed to be doing that according to the Most High. You're not your own God. Chill out. Not to seek the dead. You know how people try to talk to the dead? You let your grief take over you, your emotions. Everybody's supposed to die. Get over it. You're not supposed to try to seek out to talk to them. Move on. Let it go. For men, you are not to remove the entire beard like the idolaters. You know what it is. You know, have that beautiful beard, my friends. Oil it up, make it look silky. You know, you do your thing, but keep it on there. Let's move on. Not to round the corners of the head as the idolatrous priests do. So you know how it's very popular to shave the sides of your head, to round the corners of your head now as a barbershop cut. All the trends go against the Most High. You ain't supposed to do it. Next one, not to cut oneself or make incisions in one's flesh in grief like the idolaters. I literally dealt with that in my real life. No, I never did it. But one of the people that betrayed me, you know, I've been betrayed a lot this year, these past 2 years. She was cutting her flesh in grief, yet she called herself a Christian. According to the law of the Most High, you ain't supposed to do that. Move on. Not to tattoo the body like the idolaters. Your skin should be free. You must keep your skin nice and pretty. All right? Leave the tattoos for the birds. All right? Not to plant a tree for worship. You know them tree huggers that be holding the tree? You ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to be worshiping the creation. You're supposed to worship the creator. Not to set up a pillar for worship. I think that goes without reason. Not to show favor to idolaters. So people that are doing all this stuff with their gods and their fake gods, why are you showing favor to them? Move on. Rebuke them. not to make a covenant with the 7 Canaanite idolatrous nations. I think that goes without saying. Clothing. So I noticed a lot of people like to talk about that. First and foremost, Paul is not God. Paul should not be adding to the law, as it is said it's against to do that. So we're going to talk about clothing. That a man shall not wear woman's clothing. You see all these celebrities on your TV and making it seem like it's a cool and it's a fashion trend to wear women's clothing. It's against the law for you to do that. All right. And that a woman should not wear men's clothing. See this? That goes without saying. Not to wear garments made of wool and linen mixed together. So you got to look at the material that you're wearing to be in accordance with the law. All right. We're going to move on. The rule of offerings was done away with other than in Passover for any sacrifice when Yahushua Christ, who you call, atoned. So we're going to move on from that. Okay, y'all. So I know this was a long video, but I wanted to go over the laws as much as I possible in my very colorful way. So yes, that's pretty much it. If you want me to send you the 613 commandments of the Torah, I will. And these people have been exalted in society. These people that follow the Torah to the T, but with their own twist on it in the background to appease their God, who is not of the Most High and not the God of Israel. So again, this is the commandments of the Torah. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I made it clear to y'all how the reality always meets the spiritual and why things are happening. Why? Because people act like why don't even matter when why it all matters, truthfully. All right? So enjoy yourself, enjoy your day, and get ready to be prepared. All right? We need to get into this. Get into it. Follow them Shabbats. Okay, let me stop. I've tried to correct my ways. So, I've come a long way as I am just so ancient. All right. So follow them laws. All right. Commandments of the Torah. Bye.